Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with RonKat Spearman. He has a brand new song out. It's called No Driver, and I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. How are you? What's going on?
Good. Thank you for having me. Everything's
You're
going good.
very welcome. As I was saying before we got started, the song is fantastic. It's catchy, it's nostalgic and vintage feeling, but it also has a ton of modern influence about it. Before we get into the sound of it all, I want to know, what is this thing about? If someone hadn't seen the music video.
It was influenced by the driverless taxis that are becoming like this thing now in San Francisco. And you
Yeah.
see them all around. And I was at an intersection and a car pulled up and there was nobody in it. And it turned the
Yep.
corner and and they're everywhere. And so this concept came to me like, no driver, just like a melody just came.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking something kind of punk rocky, funky kind of thing. And I was meshed those things together. And that's how the concept, and then the lyrics are kind of metaphoric about, someone not having someone love, and having a driver, just goes in be
Totally.
metaphor kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we just got the Waymos down here in LA. It's still rolling out slowly. But
Oh,
yeah, like I said, I was just in San Francisco. They're everywhere. They're
yeah.
everywhere you look.
Yeah.
And um I I decided like I have to try this thing. So I took it maybe on like a 5 or 10 minute ride, and it was weird. Like I knew it was gonna be weird, but
Yeah.
it's just such an experience and
Yeah.
it feels like the future. And I don't know. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
When we shot the video, I took my first ride. And it was a trip, like to not have,
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
somebody's not up there. But they talk to you, if you have any kind of problems, from some control booth or something, wherever they are.
Right.
It's just really like a forward, futuristic thing, like you're saying. It's like it's really cool to be able to not. Sometimes you get in the car with an Uber or Lyft and you don't want to talk or you don't want to be bothered. And you totally, you totally get that with the Waymo because there's nobody in there.
It's true. Truly, like it's such, I mean, listen, I know a lot of people that have vowed to never get in one. I know people that use it as like their
Yeah,
main thing if they're
yeah.
Ubering or taking a car in San Francisco, wherever it is. It's an
Hmm.
interesting concept. I don't know how I feel about it still, but I'm glad that this is truly the first piece of media, at least music wise, that I've heard that tackles the situation. And it's like, the song is catchy. That's one thing. But you got to license this thing to them and they can buy the song and use it in a commercial or
Right,
something.
right, right. That's what we're working on that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was totally inspired. I was just like, this is the future, is at least
100%.
anyway. So I'm just and we get a good response when we play the song. It's really fun to dance to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about here is like not being familiar with your music prior to listening to the song. I was really blown away by how many different influences are going on in it. As mentioned, it's got that punk rock feel, but it's also got like this 80s flair kind of
Yeah.
running through it. And then there's a ton of modern instrumentation as well. What was sort of the blueprint of making the song when you first wrote it?
I mean, I was a big Depeche Mode cult, fan.
Yeah,
Just like all of the 80s stuff. We were just trying to tap into that, the Prince influences, the P-Funk, and meshing all of those things together and just trying to keep it on the dance floor and just also like, what's going on in the world and everything, how things are kind of moving and it just we just wanted something that pushed with a little bit of metal in it, and just all the sensibilities that sometimes we don't get all the time in certain things that you hear.
absolutely. Yeah, like I said, really nice mesh of sounds that kind of it provides a little something for everyone, which I feel is so necessary nowadays and how we consume music and sending it to
True.
people.
True.
How did it work in terms of actually creating the song? Like I know that you're at the forefront
Hmm.
at least in the name. Do you have a band behind you? How does
Well,
that work?
generally, I write and produce and perform all of the
Okay.
music, everything. So I play all the instruments and everything. And then, on a couple of the songs that are on the EP that's coming out, um, a couple of my players are playing on it. I have a couple guest performers on there as well. And but basically I start with the guitar. With that particular song, I started with the
Yeah.
guitar because it took me right to like just like a 80s kind of punk. It was just like
Yeah.
just with my fingers, and I started with the guitar and then I moved on to the drums. I knew what beat I wanted.
Hmm.
I have there's a beat that you might hear more than once in some of the music because
It's
I just
okay.
I just love this beat so much I can't stop using it. And so, the drums and then the bass and then the vocals and then I didn't use any horns on this one, but I don't think there's any horns on it. No, there's
I don't
not.
recall any, but hey, you never know. Hiding in the mix somewhere, they could
Right.
be there.
Right.
Very cool. In terms of actually, all of your music, when you approach making a new song, does it always come immediately to you on how you want it to sound, or do you always need to work it out?
I allow it to come in many different forms and I don't get in the way of it. Like
Sure.
we be talking and I might call you up and say, hey man, you influenced me on this something we said. I might have
Yeah.
to publish it on this song, but like it just it comes in many different ways. Sometimes it'll come in the full form, like I'll get the lyrics and the melody, the whole thing, or it'll just be a piece of a song, or it'll just be a concept that I might sit on for a year,
Right.
or and just depending on where my creative flow is, sometimes I can just like write songs just over and over and over. It's just
Hmm.
continuous because I'm always looking at different art and just trying to soak up what's going on in society and what people are talking about and what makes people
Yeah.
move, just all these different elements. So, and it kind of helps me not to have a writer's block sometimes, although I, get one sometimes, but
Sure.
just by soaking up art, just being able to take and consume how people are thinking, how they're feeling, how I'm
Exactly.
feeling, what I'm going through, or, and try to convey those things in the music.
I fully understand that and I respect it because I feel a lot of people kind of force the music that they're making. They either
Mhm.
manufacture stories or things that didn't happen, but I
Yeah.
think and it's
It's
not
a,
great, but it's
yeah,
true. Whether it be like love songs or breakup songs or whatever it is, it's like people are always bending the truth in a way. I
yeah,
feel that even just the area that you live in, you're
yeah,
in what I would consider to be a walkable city. You
yeah.
open your door and you're
Absolutely.
in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you
It's real.
see things that you may not register at the moment, but they can come back immediately and kind of inspire you in a way where you're like, oh, this little thing happened that didn't matter at the
Yeah,
moment, but now I'm
totally,
writing a song about it.
totally, totally.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. The environment sometimes, has a lot to do with, what helps you to feel good or feel bad or, it just influences it all, you know,
Yeah,
sometimes.
right. Now, obviously, this isn't your first musical project. I know that you've been part of other projects in the past, correct?
Yes.
Right. So, it would you consider this to be a solo project, even though you have people with you?
Absolutely. This is a solo project. This is
Okay.
the RonKat Spearman project. And my other things were like the Cat Delic project, which encompassed the band, but I mean, I still wrote all the music,
Okay, got it.
so I was trying some other things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. In terms of that, I know, I wasn't aware that you not necessarily took control, but were sort of like the ringleader of making that music.
Hmm.
Now that this is just you, you're the face of the project.
Hmm.
Do you feel any like maybe unwanted pressure to be like, well, because my name's on it, I have to perform at a higher level?
Sometimes I do, and I wanted to make people feel a certain way, and and reciprocate, what I'm trying to convey. But and I do feel certain pressure,
Sure.
from time to time, and until I figure out why I'm feeling that pressure. And
I understand.
I have to alleviate that and then move on and try to, keep it moving.
Sure. How about on the creative side of things? Obviously you feel a little bit of pressure, but do you feel any amount of freedom? You're like, yeah,
I
I
do
can
feel
do whatever I want.
yes. I that's the whole like freedom to be able to, just and I'm a
Just,
good
yeah,
collaborator as well. Like I like to collaborate
it's
with
very
people.
important. Yeah,
I love to. I can take my position, if somebody's written on the song first, or if I wrote the song, I can play all the parts,
sure.
that I need to do to make things work. But like doing the solo thing is just is like you're saying, it's like it's total freedom. I can paint this canvas the way that I see it,
Yeah,
you know, and it's a lot more gratifying too.
absolutely. I feel the same. And listen, being in a band or being on your own, there's still an amount of creativity that goes into it. But at the
Mhm.
same time, like, yeah, the pressure's on. Like people see
Yeah,
the name, they reflect it on one person.
yeah,
No
yeah.
matter who's playing behind you, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Um, have you had the opportunity yet to play live under this solo moniker?
I have, and I've been testing out the music and watching the response. Um, and it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun. Like a lot of times too, like when you come with new things and people are expecting a certain thing from you, like, because I come from the P-Funk thing,
Yeah,
they're expecting everything. But I think the music is funky. I think, it's funk is just not,
sure.
it's a wide range of, what funk really is. But a lot of times, like if I break out into like something funk rock kind of funky, my audience sometimes might go and then go, you know,
They got takes them a sec to
yeah,
get into it.
like, hey, okay, all right, we're with
I'm
you.
into
We
it.
got you.
Okay. I understand that.
Uh,
You also said that are you performing by yourself at the moment?
actually, I've been doing some things just around town, just like I'm doing a little busking, but like I do
Nice.
perform like in the clubs and stuff. And I was in Nevada City about a week or so ago. I was in the dark
Sweet.
room in St. Louis, and it was really great. And that was with my band. I have
Yeah.
a whole army of musicians that I, play with. Sometimes like I can't have certain ones on the West Coast, so I have to use certain ones on the East.
That
And so
makes
it
sense.
makes it kind of,
Nice. So we were basically done with August at this point. There's not much left to the year. It
yeah.
sounds like you've accomplished a ton in 2024, but are there any other things that you're working on right now for the rest of the year?
Um, I'm trying to finish a few things. I was in this movie that's supposed to be coming out.
Nice.
The title is really it's a trip. It's called Cocaine Roach, and the premiere is on the 7th of September. So I'm actually
That's
out
soon.
here for that soon coming up. And I'm looking to diversify and just keep things. I'm like any aspect of music I like to
Yeah.
be part of if I can. And I'm working on a musical that I've been working on for like a long
Awesome.
time, and trying to put that thing together. And then actually I'm releasing the EP, but I'm also putting together the album. My friends are telling me that,
Awesome.
8 songs in that is an album, but
Yeah.
uh I don't know how we did that, but it was supposed to be like a 5-song EP, but then as we got to cutting and recording, we started putting more songs on there. So
That's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's also tough because it's like
yeah,
it's kind of up to you. Is an EP 5 songs, 6 songs? Then is an album need to be 10? Like, do the
right,
rules really even matter? Because I don't think they do
right.
at
They
all
don't anymore.
matter. That's
Yeah.
kind of the best part of being an artist and a creative is like you make
Yeah.
your own rules. You
Yeah.
don't have the oversight to be like, this is right, this is wrong.
Right. Yeah. That's the first.
Yeah.
Yeah. for sure.
Nice. In terms of the solo project, can we expect anything else to be released this year? And if so, what can people get excited about?
Um, I am releasing a song that's on the in the movie. It's
Nice.
called Better Now, and I think that'll be out in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome.
And I'm doing a couple of collabs with a few people. Um, I don't want to.
You don't have to say too much. You really don't.
I do have a couple things that I did with George Clinton, my
Oh,
pop,
awesome.
and Garrett Scheider. He's one of the lead singers now in P-Funk, and Greg Boyer, who played for Prince and who now plays trombone. And it's a couple little collabs that are really cool. I did something. I think he forgot about it, but I did this song with Lenny Kravitz like about, I don't know, it's been about 10 plus years ago. And
Sure.
I'm working on it and I want to surprise him with it because I know he forgot that he played on it.
I'm sure.
And it's really, really funky. And but I just been kind of tweaking that. So there's a couple little things that, I want to release and drop and do and just open to just making some more music.
I love that, man. Listen, I think one of the most exciting things about music is obviously you've taken another direction and doing your own thing here, but the
Hmm.
collaboration part of it, there's nothing like creating that energy between two people and
Yeah,
then putting something out. And I think in just even in terms of networking,
yeah,
making new music with people, continuing to get your name out there is one of the most important things.
absolutely. Yes.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, I have one more question for you here. And basically the question is it's like for anyone that's going to discover you from this interview, is there an opening message or something you'd like to say to them before they listen to this song or watch the video for the first time?
Um, I would say just continue to keep an open mind and open heart and continue to spread love. It's very important that we continue to acknowledge each other sometimes. Sometimes you might not be able to, but if you can share a kind word with somebody, or just a smile or
Yeah,
something, it might sound kind of corny, but I mean, sometimes you might save a person's life by just being kind. Sometimes you
it's
don't know what
true.
they're going through. So, and well, I forgot the other part of the question. I don't know if I answered the whole
I think
thing.
you answered it perfectly. I mean, listen, anyone who watches this who doesn't know you, I mean, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna plug your music in a second, but it's just really enjoyable. And it also gives the people the opportunity to check out the rest of the music that you've made, which is important. And then everything going forward too.
Hmm. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Listen, RonKat, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Let me plug this song one more time. For anyone that didn't know, I'm speaking with RonKat Spearman. The song is called No Driver. It's super catchy. There's an awesome music video that we'll have linked as well. I'm excited for everything else that's in the works and on the way. Like, I'm going to be paying attention personally. And truly, thank you for your time. It means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. All right. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Stay cool out there, and I hope to speak soon.
You too.
All
Have
right.
a
Take care. Bye bye.
bye.